Do your own research. Definitely applies to who you're listening to and following.
Back, Hardforkers. What a week it's been. We're back here for our once a week crypto update show with the wonderful Leanne and Jesse. How are you, people?
Wonderful, thank you.
Yep, and to answer some of the questions that I've been asked, yes, my mental stability is just fine.
Yay!
Hope you enjoyed last week's rant. I'll do my best to top that this week.
Good.
You've got it out of your system. It's okay.
Look, it's been a stressful time for a lot of people. We will cover that in today's show. But shall we jump straight into a chart, Leanne?
Okay, so BTC, let's start. I think I need to explain something to the viewers. First of all, they might have noticed it in my charts before, but I'll just explain again my dominant method that I use called the BOSS method, which is some simple moving averages. And on the chart here, you can see this blue area, and this area is the 231 SMA, and I use this to determine where we are in the trend, up or down, and when we can start to see some light at the end of the tunnel. And up here we had a cross at around 56k and it broke the channel, which I think I'd commented that it was a no trade zone, and we had to explore what the downside was, and it settled down here. And now that we're under this, I use an unusual timeline too, a 343 minute. When I'm in a no trade chop zone, I like to stick to this chart because it gives me a really clear indication of when to look for entries or not. So right now I call this underwater. We are under the blue wave here. So when we're under the blue wave, there is so much water pressure on the price, so it needs to stabilize, the waves need to subside. This is the way that my brain works, and it's a good method for me. It doesn't work for everybody. So for now, we've got a lot of downward water pressure still, and we're in this zone, and I've got alerts set around the 33k mark, which to me is where a lot of energy and buying and selling took place, and up at the 41.5 area. I've set two little alarms on my computer for that. So anything in between this for me is just choppy, and what I'm going to be looking for is a break of the 7. Actually, I'm going to turn off the candle so you can have a look. I'm going to wait for this SMA 7 to curl up, and I want it to break ultimately through the water pressure. So for me, as long as we're heavy underwater, I'm not even looking for an entry right now. It's no trade zone. If you're hodling, stay hodling. If that's your long-term plan. If you're a trader, for me, I'm not even entering anything. And for me, BTC is dictating where we are in price structure at the moment. So for me also, I'm not even taking any alt trades, and I've used this as an opportunity to clean up some bags, which we'll talk about later. So that's the Bitcoin chart.
Sorry, Leanne, just while you're there, I 100% agree with absolutely everything you've said there. So sort of a re-entry above 40k, what were your price targets there?
So I had that zone placed there because you can see the 77 moving average is where it's settled at the moment. So for me, that's the resistance right now on my methodology, and it's where the most we need it to break above that to reclaim those areas before we get further upside. And this could chop around in a reaccumulation zone for a long time. So we don't know how long. And until then, we need this 231 to settle and smooth out, and then we look for some entries with our 7 SMA. So yes, so that for me now, just do nothing until we have further confirmation of up or down.
Yeah, I agree. We had a nice chat yesterday, so just to sort of cover what we discussed there for the audience, I exited to about 25% cash And yeah, probably some sleepless nights coming up for me because I actually view this as a great opportunity to trade these zones. And I don't think we've confirmed that yet, but that support at low 30s, and also looking for a breakout above 41 is how I'm looking to play this at the moment. So I'm in cash with about 25% of my stack at the moment.
Why was that,
I'll
Sean?
look to ladder.
What
Sorry?
was the reasoning, and if you're able to share with the public for the 25%?
Yeah, look, I think I got a bit of a shake-up, like a lot of other people. I exited a lot of alts that I've held and put those into cash. And I'm looking for an entry with when I say cash, into a stable coin.
Oh, because there's a huge difference.
There's a complete difference, Jesse. Yes, I don't live in the cash world or the financial world, and we should actually talk about cash today. It's something I covered with my crypto meetup last night. For me, it was a bit of a jolt, like I'm sure it was for a lot of people. My portfolio didn't really consist of a huge amount of alts, but yeah, it did sort of force my hand to make a few decisions about whether they are worth holding. So yeah, I definitely took a hit on a number of them, but big picture, having that capital to redeploy into trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, the other sort of stables for me, the coins that I'm married to, so to speak. I just think we're in the market cycle now where this is about big business. This is about institutional plays for me at the moment. We've had Blue on the channel a number of times, and he talks about the composite man, and the composite man is that big player. And I think the smart move now is to follow how that's going to play out. And for me, I think the way that's playing out is we've seen, the whole sort of mining debate around green energy. The institutions, I think, possibly are looking for some clarity around that at the moment. I think we're going to see a choppy market for a while, exactly as Leanne's just said. And yeah, I'm looking to re-enter with capital from liquidating some of my alts back into BTC, Ethereum, Matic, to a lesser degree, Solana, Kusama. But yeah, my entry, I'll look to ladder in around that 35 and downwards mark, or 41 and up.
It feels like now for the past month, and I think it'll continue to be this way, when people ask me any advice about crypto, these days I literally just keep saying blue chips, and then that's it. And it's the same response every time. I'm like, look, just get into the top 10 most strong, fundamentally strong projects with a good track record and a good team, and just stop worrying about it and just do that. You'll be fine. And that's basically my answer now every time.
Yeah, look, I mean, 100%, Jesse. I think a lot of people out there have had a wild ride at the casino, listening to the various influencers out there who will suggest a million different projects to you. It's quite interesting to see how many of them are behaving at the moment. So make good decisions on who you listen to primarily here, people. But yeah, look, I think those days of the altcoin that's going to do 400% tomorrow. When you're in that hype cycle, of course that happens, and everybody can be a genius. But let's get back to basics here now, people. You've got to be in projects that actually have adoption, where you can see communities growing, that the institutional money is going to come into, and you'll see great price appreciation in those. So yeah, your altcoin plays, they will come back to life once this market's buoyant again. But that, my opinion, that could take a month or two here, maybe longer. But if you're in those blue chips, as you say, projects that you truly understand the fundamentals of and believe in, you're going to be able to sleep easy at night. And I've wanted to put myself back in that position. You saw me get emotional last week, and okay, I had a personal situation there, but definitely, losing 50% of my stack at the same time certainly didn't help. So, be prepared for emotional turmoil, and that's going to be exasperated by the fact you might be in highly speculative bullshit projects that are all about marketing hype. So just, have a look at your portfolio, rebalance it. On that note, do you two want to give us your thoughts on, did that correction sort of jolt you into a different way of thinking on certain projects at all?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I've said it too. We've all had a bit of personal stuff going on, and I was unwell during that whole dump. I've got a few things going on, and I didn't get to manage it as well as I normally would with my adjustments, and it did. I mean, look, most people, everyone's hodl stack took a 50% hit. That's undoubted, or more so. Some alts went up to 80% hit. And in those moments, I don't do anything. I wait, and on the bounce, which we had some really nice bounces on alts, I took that opportunity to cut some of those positions and hedge back into stables and just wait and see what plays out. And the other remaining percentage, I'm happy to hold them because they're good. And if I was in any little ones, I wasn't, I call them the bad, Chris Dunn, my mentor, he calls them bad employees. So I run with that theme. You have to fire some of them sometimes. And I did a bit of firing as well. So sometimes it's good, even as, look, again, this is not about the investment strategy, but as a trader, you need to just make some decisions sometimes, even just to clear your own mental capacity. I had too many trades running. My personal life kind of I lost track of a little bit of some of the trades I was in and needed to manage them better. So on the bounce I did, and I fired a whole lot of employees that weren't performing the way I wanted them to. So, and I didn't think they would in the future. So I've kept my bulk holdings, the ones I'm really bullish on macro, and I've started to really rethink my portfolio balance with the ones I wasn't so wrapped in, because I do think BTC will take the stage again, and you need to be aware of that. And I know that on Twitter there was a big outroar in calling out people that had been shilling a lot of things and their percentage drops and that. So people need to be aware of if they are investing, you need to be aware of what you're investing in. And if you're trading, you need to have good management around that, or strategies to deal with, 55 to 80% drops.
Well, I'm at a Schiller project at the moment. But look, it's an important point. I think, look, the reality is we're making a YouTube show here. I've done this for years. I'm very, very comfortable with what I've been telling my audience for a number of years. I have zero regrets around how I've carried myself. But look, I'm super conscious of, we are talking about, people's finances here. Obviously, we can't give financial advice, but, we're talking about what we do here. Now, on that note, I just want to stress something that has been my mantra for years. Understand that what Bitcoin really is all about: stateless money. Stateless money. I gave a very impassioned speech to my crypto meetup last night, and there were a lot of open mouths, and I think they came away really getting that. And for me, that investment thesis is, if you have a correction, you're not going to be worried about it if you've really understood that big picture. And we were talking about some of the older generation yesterday in a private chat, Leanne, and how they were very much just hodlers. That drop didn't faze them. They've understood that big picture.
Yes.
And that was nice to see, actually. So I think it's sort of the younger new people that are coming in looking for those quick gains and want that 10x, that they're the ones that will freak out and sell a Bitcoin or an Ethereum position. Jesse, any comments on
I was just going to say, I'm glad that that means that my brain is the same as that of an old guy. So I like to hear that.
You are an old
I am
guy,
an old
crypto
man
now, mate.
at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like dad jokes.
Well, I mean, Jesse, to a certain degree, I would consider you an OG. I mean, you've been in the space for a good number of years now. You've been through a crash.
Right.
Any thoughts on your thinking after this big correction that we've seen in the last week? Has it changed your thoughts on the space?
I would say that I think one of the great parts about being a trader is that I think that you start to learn a lot more technical aspects of it, which is so important. And really, I mean, I just think in general, when you're a trader, which I'm not, I do a little here and there, is that you definitely just, you have to learn more about crypto in general, crypto as a whole, but also the projects you're invested in. And obviously, if you're mostly just a hodler, maybe you don't necessarily have to know as much, right? You need to know. I mean, it's best to know as much as you can, but for I guess what I've learned the most out of being a quote unquote OG, which I'm not, but being something more in that ballpark, is the emotional aspect is on lock. I couldn't have been less swayed by a week ago when everything went to custard, as you would say, Sean. I literally. What I did is I deleted my quick link in my bookmarks for CoinGecko. I just said, okay, let's not look at it for a couple of days. And I did yoga, like I let it be an opportunity to do some things in my life. I got rid of a few things that I was using as a crutch, and I started doing some other things, just things that had nothing to do with crypto, because I knew that eventually I would look back, and it's true. Only what, 4 or 5 days later, whatever it is, the chart was here, and it's basically here, and that dip down there, that's over, and it's in the past. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. Even some of I didn't hold on to all the crap altcoins that I had. I still had a few lingering in there, but even some of them are still like back to where they were. It's almost as if nothing happened. I mean, that's the one thing I've learned after being in crypto this long. Is just wait it out. If something bad happens, something good will happen too. What it goes up comes down, and vice versa. Breathe, woosah.
One thing I wanted to just have a brief chat with the two of you on, I was very shocked when the market was tumbling. Obviously, I trade Bitcoin and Ethereum on Bybit. That exchange held up for me. I went to do some trades on Binance. Didn't happen, wouldn't go through. I heard Coinbase was the same. I've also had some ongoing problems trying to move some money around on Binance as well. So please let me know in the comments below if anyone else is still finding glitches there. But the centralized exchanges in this space, and believe me, anyone that's followed my content knows I'm one of the biggest proponents of decentralization. Here was another reminder for me. Why the hell am I worrying about something going wrong? On Binance, on these centralized exchanges, DeFi. Yes, regulators will shine a light on it very, very soon. I think that's coming up fast. But what I will say is, I have 100% confidence in the DeFi space. Nothing faltered. It just ticked. It worked perfectly. Centralized exchanges, nope. Try and do a trade, nope, didn't happen. Coinbase, Binance, the big players, all had problems. Now that's shit. Why do you pay fees to them, people?
Yeah, good question.
I love your New Zealand accent when you say shit. To anyone that doesn't know what that means from another country, it means shit.
Yes.
Yes, it's shit. Sorry.
So, look, it is shit. Well, shit, as you say in Australia. Shut up.
Arsehole.
Let's have 6.
So,
Oh.
we like to inject some humour between the charts. So
Don't say inject, okay? Inject.
Inject some
Okay. So, decentralization, people.
Decentralized.
So last night, here's me. I had a real rant at my crypto meetup. There's always a few drinks involved there. The people, the group's growing. There's some intelligent dialogue there, and we throw ideas around, and that's what we're looking to do here today. And for me, I sort of thought about what I'd said to the people there last night, and the main thing for me was, what am I actually using? What am I confident in right now? And during that dump, as I say, my confidence in these centralized exchanges is at a point where I'm like, geez, should I be leaving money on some of these exchanges? That worried me. It's my money, and I couldn't move it around. I couldn't make trades. Their systems broke. DeFi worked. I've got 100% confidence in DeFi. Yes, the regulators will shine a light on it, because it is going to be the biggest threat to traditional finance, much more so than Bitcoin, so to speak. Bitcoin's got the case law, been declared a commodity. It's going to become that institutional asset, that store of value. It's a pawn in the big chess game of the global economy now. That's where Bitcoin's at. But DeFi and all the innovation happening there, that to me is the most interesting thing. That, along with gaming and these communities that are growing extremely fast, are my main areas of interest at the moment. If you haven't understood what decentralization offers you at this point, people, now's a good time to really wrap your head around that. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. We've all, anyone that's been around for a while has heard this, but it is true. You need to understand what Bitcoin is bringing to us, what Ethereum is bringing to us, and I've got a little bit sidetracked here, but where I was going with, the structure of my portfolio at the moment is purely based around things that I'm actually using. Bitcoin's my piggy bank. It's my retirement fund. It's my pension. It's a hodl position. I put it away. I don't care if this thing drops 80% because I know where it's going to be in 5 years. That's my attitude with Bitcoin. Ethereum, I use Ethereum on the daily for a heap of things now. So yes, I've got some investments in the Solanas and the Kasamas, these other blockchains that, new kids on the block here. But you've got to ask yourself, in my opinion, at this point, for this stage of the cycle, is there adoption? Are you actually using it? Why are you so sure about this? Is it a great bit of marketing? Is it an influencer, with 100,000 followers telling you, oh, this is the one? And of course, you always see a spike in the price. Some of these influencers do move markets, be under no illusions. But you so often find yourself with your pants pulled down 2 weeks later, after they've cashed in, creating the hype. Invest in things that you're using, that you understand. Bitcoin and Ethereum, for me, are those things. The other space is the gaming space, the blockchain gaming space. Why? Because I've been involved long enough now with Axie Infinity to have seen the growth, to have seen the adoption, to have seen the business model work. So I'm super confident in that space. And on this channel, we've just partnered up. So you're talking about shilling before, Leanne. I'm going to shill this. We have a partnership with the Nine Chronicles blockchain game. This is truly decentralized. I think it's the most decentralized game in the blockchain space. For that reason, I'm absolutely throwing all my weight behind this. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get involved right at the get-go. I think the people involved in it who are effectively launching it have the right intentions, have the right morals. I like these guys. I like what's going on here. And there's a wonderful opportunity for people to immediately generate a passive income from this. All you need is a computer. You can mine this token just by running your computer, supporting this network, acting as a node. The token isn't actually listed on exchanges yet, so really, really early opportunity here for you to get involved. And as I say, this is a community-owned game. It's actually a passive game, so it's all about sort of strategy, figuring out the items that you should have to be able to progress through levels. So I'd encourage everyone to really take a very close look at what is happening in blockchain gaming in general. Have a look at the adoption, have a look at how these communities are growing, and most importantly, actually get involved in these communities. I think if you're purely about making some bucks here, I would strongly advise you, even if you're not a gamer, just go and understand the space and see what's going on. I think this is going to be huge. The network effect of these communities is massive. And it's happening. This isn't an idea that might happen in a couple of years. This isn't a slick marketing department. There are really active communities there. So go check that space out, people. For me, Bitcoin, Ethereum, layer 2 technologies and gaming communities. That's my focus. That's where I'm investing.
Cool. Amen.
I'm listening.
Leanne, yeah. Check it out.
I'm listening. For all those Australians that are listening, Sean just sounded like Molly Meldrum. We need a hat for you. Hey, it's Saturday. Do you remember
Who?
Hey, it's Saturday? No. The Australians watch the
Oh, God.
Because you said it's going to be huge. You used to say that. And I'm showing my age, yeah.
Donald Trump used to say that too.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
But Nine Chronicles sounds like a very nice name. I like it.
Yeah, it looks the gameplay footage looks pretty awesome. I saw the recent interview that the other Hardforking guys did with him recently. He seems like a stand-up guy who just wants to, what I liked is that he has a history of gaming. He's a young dude. He mentioned Dota, one of my favorite games, also coming up in the ranks of gaming. I don't play it anymore, but that was one of my favorites. He just seemed like he knew. That's the thing. You got to know about the gaming world to run something successful in that world. And it looked promising. And what I've seen with the Axie Infinity thing that's going on now, and the way that it's actually helping people in really kind of poverty-stricken countries getting their family to eat food. I mean, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. I feel proud to be a part of that.
Real world use case. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. So short and sweet today, I think, people. Although I was just wondering whether to have a bit of a dig at CZ while we're at it.
Fuck CZ. How's that? Don't kill me.
I don't know. He's kind of people adore this guy in the space, but there's a couple of CZ articles here today. So yeah, I mean, I guess this just comes back to how their product failed during that crash. But the other one that I found really quite amusing, if I can get my internet to work here. Here we go.
Kathy Woods.
Yeah, that's a pretty good article, actually. It's very much about how institutions are sort of step back off the back of Elon Musk's comments around green energy. But I think we all know what's going to happen there. Wait for the Elon Musk green Bitcoin miner coming to you shortly, people.
I had a discussion with a friend around the green energy thing, and unless the narrative changes to a more positive one, it's interesting if any institutions that were actually contemplating it won't want to touch it now until that narrative cools off, because they don't want to be affiliated with anything that's not green. That'll be an interesting. I think it'll iron itself out, and some interesting dialogue will happen from there. But stay tuned, hey.
Absolutely. So just very quickly to wrap it up today. I mean, look, I've met CZ before. Seems like a nice bloke, but I do find this really quite amusing. Where here we go, CZ. No one can shut Bitcoin down, says Binance CEO CZ. This is the same guy that wanted to roll the Bitcoin network back after a hack last year.
I don't even know.
Nobody can shut Bitcoin down, but CZ wants to roll it back. So maybe CZ's actually understood what Bitcoin is finally. Well done, CZ.
Caesar. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for your opinion, CZ.
Sorry? Yeah, thank you, CZ.
Now I can sleep well at night.
Yeah. Okay, people. Anything else you would like to share with the audience before we wrap it up?
You've already covered what sectors of adoption most interest you, so I guess I don't have to ask that.
Actually, I've got two things. We had a request to know what your favourite colour is, Sean.
What do you think it is, Leanne?
Green?
Orange.
Only green?
I could lie to you and say green, because apparently geniuses like green, but everyone knows I'm not a genius. It's actually red.
Me too, actually.
Right. You like a bloodbath. Good.
Yeah. My face says that too.
I only wear black. Everyone's probably got all black, but that's just from living in the tropics for years, where black.
I thought it was because you're in all black.
Nobody can see that you're pouring with
Oh, you're in all black, yeah.
You're in all black.
Fashion thing. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah. I watched my first All Blacks game with Sean in a bar in Copenhagen years ago.
Oh, cool. Can you do the haka thing? The thing?
I can.
Oh, that thing, yes. Awesome.
The national haka actually comes from the my little area here where I'm at the moment.
Right. I love that about New Zealand culture. You all know that. It's brilliant. The only other thing I wanted to say was, because I've been aware of what's happening on Twitter, like people, when you follow people, please make sure that you're following people with your best interests at heart, really, and that are very transparent with what they're doing. And the links down below, I'm in Chris Dunn's Skill Incubator, and he took 25% profits just before Elon's tweets, actually, and he really is transparent. He wrote it on Twitter. He let everyone know what he was doing, and it was a really good decision because it gave him capital for the dump. And Baloo, I'm in the crypto jungle. There's a free trial. If you click the link below, there's a free trial for a month so you can see what the group's like, and I'm in there posting my charts with my methods, and you've got Baloo in there, and you've got Matthew Alphanumerics in there, and there's really cool heads in there. And I say cool because they're committed to their strategies. They're not shilling projects for their own pockets. They're just keeping things real, and it's really important that you move forward following people that are giving you good guidance and you enjoy their content. And that's what I wanted to end that with. I actually went through Twitter and I unfollowed people that,
very good.
When I thought about it, I thought this is a waste of my time just looking at this. So, and I did that on YouTube also. I got rid of people that didn't match my philosophies moving forward after this big correction in crypto space. There's too much noise.
Do your own research. Definitely applies to who you're listening to and following.
There will be people held to account moving forward here who maybe have misled people. But, look, at the end of the day, everyone should make their own decisions. But, just be careful. I mean, there's a ton of people that are popping up all over the place on YouTube and, influencers. It's hilarious. I mean, some of these people are just painfully bad. But there's others that are extremely popular that seem to be able to completely change their narrative. After a crash, all of a sudden they're a genius and why that happened. But,
adaptability is good, but you also have to see what preluded to their conclusions afterwards. Yeah. So, yeah.
And on that note, obviously we're trying to help people get ahead financially here, but equally, for me, what is going on right in front of your faces at the moment, people, with stateless money, with all this innovation happening on Ethereum and how that is opening up new business opportunities, new investment opportunities, ways for the world to connect better, to share value, which is ultimately what all this is about. It's about removing friction, removing middleman, enabling global commerce to work a hell of a lot more efficiently. This is exciting. So, all right, we might all be locked up in front of computers and whatever, but here's a great opportunity to stay ahead of the curve, and we hope this content and this channel it gives you that opportunity. Because if you are watching this, you're way ahead of everyone else. You're still so early here. Don't view it as just a financial investment, the stuff we're talking about. Understand what Bitcoin and Ethereum is bringing to the world. Get involved.
Amen.
It's exciting. Once that light bulb comes on, you're in.
Well put. Well put, Sean.
Smash the like button.
Yeah. Or just click it.
If you like the content we're making, tell your friends about it. And, for God's sake, send us some comments. Tell us what you've understood, what you'd like to hear more about. It's more interesting for us if we're hearing from you and engaging with you. So reach out and definitely join Leanne's group. Link below. I know Baloo. I know I've met Matthew. He's been on the channel once.
Crypto Jungle are my go-to mentors, and I'm active in there as trading also. So that's links below.
Go and hang out with them. See if you like them as people. See if there's a fit for you, and then then it's up to you to act on what's going on. But Pick your influences wisely,
Correct.
people.
Yeah, and get some exercise. Be kind to your neighbor and breathe.
Yes. Hallelujah.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
On that note, okay. All right, people. Thank you very much for joining us again. As I say, get involved. We'll hopefully make the show live so we can actually have a chat to a few of you at some point. But yeah, enjoy your days, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
See ya.
See ya.